I mean, Muscovy could declare on Denmark. Oh, that'd bring in Britain and France. So would Sweden, although Sweden would only be Britain. Declaring on Sweden would be the way to do it. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that 23,000 is crippling for the Ottomans. The Ottomans are still extremely strong. But it's unfortunate. Because at this strength, I don't think you'd see a better opportunity to go after the Commonwealth than Prussia. Because Muscovy does also have manpower of their own. They have 37,000. Losing money at the moment. They do have quite a few loans. 1,600 in debt. Making a fair amount of money. What are they losing it on? Fort maintenance. Their forts must... Yeah, all of their forts are up. So is their... Nope, they are on... They're drilling. Yeah, they're drilling. That's fine. So army maintenance is maxed out at the moment, but that's kind of irrelevant because drilling, although this guy is being paid maximum, that's just not very good use of economics there. Keeping all of their forts maintained, I mean, that I understand because you're worried about Commonwealth attack, but you don't really need to be paying those guys if you're not drilling them. Your forts should give you enough time to turn them on again. And then you got diplomatic expenses of 2. I'm not entirely sure why. And then a lot of interest, that's because of the loans you've taken. State maintenance and then advisors. No corruption though, that's good. Silesia is still fighting. This is incredible. Look at little Silesia go. I don't think his lack of allies is his fault. It's not. Like, Muscovy only just stepped in this session, so he hasn't really had a chance to befriend players yet. I think he only joined last night. Yeah, he did. And he's inherited a pretty rough diplomatic situation, because the previous Muscovy was extremely isolationist. He just didn't do allies. Is Prussia allied to Commonwealth? Yeah, of course they are. I mean, like I was saying, if you wanted to...
Mordred, you might want to check Kilwa's religion tab.
Okay, we'll do.
Because we have a new defender of the Sunni faith that will defend the Ottomans and the Mughals to the death.
I am sure they will.
Just letting you know.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, they are indeed the defender of the Sunni faith. For the extra missionaries? Nope, they don't have that many fetishists. For the morale? Prestige, maybe? Oof. Very low tradition. Yeah, Kilwa should not have gone Merchant Republic. That's a mistake. Oops. 131% stability cost modifier.
Hey there, Mordred.
Hello.
Did you see who this Kilwa? Did you see who the new defender of the Sunni faith is?
Yeah, Amon just came by and said, hey, you should check that out.
Yeah, I just wanted the extra missionary.
Right, I did wonder.
And the Ottomans and the Mughals can take care of themselves, but I will happily defend them.
So, why a Merchant Republic?
I think I screwed up there.
Yeah, I think you did.
So if I ever get, noble rebels or something, I'll just let them turn me into a kingdom.
I mean, the other thing you can do is just switch to one of the other republics, like Oligarchy would be fine. They don't have province limits. It's only the Merchant Republic that does.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so I'll just wait for the reform then. Cool.
Well, you don't even need to... You can switch now. It'll cost you 10 corruption. You just need to change away from a plutocracy. That's the only thing you need to do.
Oh. How do I... govern?
So you can become a noble elite if you want the army tradition. And aristocratic ideas, we can become the oligarchy, which allows you the plutocratic ideas and gives you extra tax.
Oh, oligarchy or noble elite. Oh, I picked the exact wrong thing.
Yeah.
When I did that. Okay.
Because plutocracy adds the is merchant republic, and it's because it's a merchant republic, that's why you're limited in province size.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks. Just wanted to let you know.
Cool, thank you.
That I am now a thing.
Yeah, congrats. Let's see how long you can hold it. Okay, so Kilwa is apparently the defender of the faith, and they will march valiantly against the enemies of the Sunni religion. Make your own splitting up of Poland, just like what historically happened, except with no Austria involved. Yeah, what was it called? It wasn't the splitting of Poland. There was an actual name of it. Dividing of Poland? I don't remember. But it was between Catherine the Great, Frederick the Great, and Maria Theresa, I think. Basically just carved up the Commonwealth between them. Partition of Poland, that was it. I'd love for the Ottomans to essentially become Rome. Well, one of their goals is to take Rome. I have a feeling they'd find quite a lot of resistance to that happening. But they definitely want to. I mean, I think that would be one of the big showdowns between alliances. It would be the Ottoman alliance versus the British, French, and Florentine alliance. And it is definitely in Britain and France's interest to keep Florence alive. A, because the Ottomans would have 3 goals completed, and they don't know what the secret goal is. The secret goal could still trigger, and that would give them the 4. And then that's an Ottoman victory. So the Commonwealth is still fighting against Silesia. And Silesia is still occupying Transylvania. This is a hell of a resistance by the little guy. I'm loving this. Commonwealth still has no manpower. Prussia's getting a little bit back. And Silesia is just not giving up. We will never surrender. I mean, yeah, I'm not dismissing Austria. Austria is in a bad way. I'm not going to deny that. Austria is in a very bad way, but they do still have a decent amount of development. 208, they're by no means a small country. And it's absolutely in their best interest to go and take Vienna back, and I suspect that they will find willing allies to do that. The problem is, most of those allies will be German. Can he trust them enough? Because I'm not sure he can. Just like there were 3 defenestrations of Prague, yeah. Knew about that one too. Alright, so Galicia is at war once again, this time against Bessarabia. I did not see that one coming. Although Galicia themselves have currently been occupied because Genoa, Galicia's former master, is coming in, former skin, and doing some damage. And Genoa still outnumbers Bessarabia. Galicia. So this is definitely a rough ride for the two of them. Although Karakanulu is also in this war. Florence is currently fighting against Milan. So Florence finally trying to take over the final Milanese territories. I'm a little bit surprised that Venice hasn't gone for Milan. Milan is probably the 2nd best province in Europe. And it's a centre of trade, and it's farmlands, and it's in the Venice node. Probably doesn't realise it's actually in the Venice node. Which is probably why Florence hasn't gone for it until now, because it doesn't really benefit them except for the development. So I think that Venice was kind of caught snoozing there, because taking Milan would definitely have been in their interests. The best node, of course, being Holland. Actually, it's not. It's Antwerp. Ooh. No, it's not. It actually is Milan. I thought Antwerp had way more development than this. Huh, okay. Milan actually is the best province in Europe. Good to know.
Hello.
Hello. Who's this?
Denmark here.
Hello.
Is it okay to talk for a bit, or is stuff happening?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so that was a fun war for me.
Which one?
Oh yeah, all of those. No, but the one with the Dutch.
Yeah, why?
Why? Because it's one of the few areas I can expand in terms of the continent. I'm more interested in colonies, but I don't know if you've noticed, I have a trade deal going with Britain.
Yes.
So my idea is basically, well, if I can get the lowlands and I have Lubeck, I can benefit even more from that trade deal, and so can him, and we can become stronger economic partners, even if we're maybe not the military allies.
Right.
And yeah, because as I kind of made clear before, I'm not interested in the German lands. I don't see any real value for me, at least, with them.
Mm-hmm.
So seems like the good thing to do.
Yeah, and he definitely humbled the other Germanic miners, because those three were allied, and now they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, Cologne, for example, he knows that I have no interest in attacking him, especially when he's like told me that he wants to trade the land with the trade center in later on after his formed Hanover.
Right.
And once that's done, I get that. Like, all right, no need to be in any way hostile to him, and I already have my 6 centers of trade.
Right, so if anyone went after Cologne, would you try and defend him or not?
Depends on... it depends really on the situation. Like, for example, now, I'm not really gonna help too much anyone. It's like I helped Poland now because he helped me a lot in that war, and so did Prussia, so I helped them out, but like my manpower needs to recover and stuff like that, so...
Yeah, those wars were pretty grueling for you guys. Like, the Dutch put up a massive fight, way more than I expected, and probably more than you expected.
Oh, absolutely. I did a few bad moves there and let my army get exposed, again, like in Muscovy war. So I didn't quite learn my lesson, but after that first time, I really just was next to Prussia all the time.
So I have to ask, what were the naval ventures into Dutch coastal territories?
Yeah, I had not really looked on the Dutch navy for a long time. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that his navy was behind me.
Don't mind me, but I just got printing press.
Oh, so new institution, interesting.
Just thought I'd come and let you know.
Cool, thank you.
Oh, nice. But yeah, I kind of thought that my navy was superior. I did not think too much. Like, I'm gonna put it here and blockade, and then like, wait, what happened? Oh.
Well, it happened twice. That's why I was surprised. Like, once, yeah, okay, you've learned your lesson, and then he came right back again, and the same thing happened.
Yeah, that happened though while I was like dealing with several things at the same time, and then my eye was cut off, and I failed at multitasking.
Fair enough. I mean, you got a little bit lucky because after the Dutch had smashed your navy apart, he could have started blockading you, and you were already having problems with rebels.
Yeah.
And had he done that, that would have increased your war exhaustion, which means even more rebels.
Absolutely. So I was really happy he didn't do that, and it was kind of a blessing in disguise that like Britain also jumped at him and like made his navy be focused elsewhere.
Yes. Yeah, Holland quite wisely started docking their fleets while the British were fighting. Although I must admit, I was surprised that the British went after the Dutch, because that's basically guaranteed the Dutch aren't going to be sending trade to Britain anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. But I had been basically talking to him and like every minor and major power around, and except for the ones that he was allied to, like Cologne and Trier, about this, and be like, hey, do you mind if I do this thing? And I was like, no, you go ahead and do your thing, Denmark. So
I mean, people have been confusing the Dutch and the Danish for centuries, so now you're just making it easier. If you're Dutch, you're actually Danish.
Yeah. I guess.
I've had that so often, like someone says, where are you from? I'm Dutch. Oh, you're from Denmark then.
Really?
Oh yeah, it happens more than I'd like.
Alright, I understand like Sweden and Switzerland, because those sound the same, but, well, sort of the same, but Dutch and Denmark, really?
Yeah, it happens. It does happen.
Yeah. Alright, I can imagine the annoyance.
Yeah.
But yeah, also another thing, like, 2 sessions ago, you seemed a bit confused about how I got the land in Sweden. Basically, me and Sweden have been doing like trade deals all the time with land.
Mhm.
So I got all the land in the Lubeck he had. He got Gotland and Riga, and paid off all my debt, of which was like 600 ducats.
Gotcha. So pretty good relations between you and the Swedes then.
Absolutely. We talk a lot with each other and just make sure that if we both want a piece of land, we try to make out some kind of deal. Like, all right, maybe I get this piece of land this time, and you get the other next good piece.
So you're not at all worried that one of his goals is to take Squana?
No. Like, the way he has explained it, and I actually kind of trust the player, that he has no ambition to do anything like that.
Okay. And what about Muscovy? That's the other looming threat from your other side.
Yeah, talked a bit to him, and his main concern seems to be with Poland, so I don't feel that threatened towards him like I did with the last player, because Darkfight, I think it was, like, I just felt like he's playing single player. I don't know what his plans are, and once he starts playing multiplayer as Russia, I can't stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me scared of that kind of wild card. This Muscovy, he seems more focused on the Diplo thing, so I feel like I could possibly work with him.
Okay.
Though if he attacks, for example, Poland, who I've had good relationship since the start of the game, I'll probably just join in and help him as best as I can.
Well, you would definitely open up a new front, because you can attack through Karelia while Poland hits him from the south.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that would mean I could also get some more land there, even if there's not land that not exactly land that I want, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Yeah, exactly. So that's really nice. And another thing I kind of noticed afterwards, that why my navy failed. I forgot to upgrade my heavy ships.
Oh, I didn't even realize you had any.
I had like 7, and the problem was that I was planning on upgrading them and the light ships, and I was like, I upgraded light ships, and then I did not have money. I was like, all right, as soon as I get money, I'm gonna do that. And then I just forgot about it, and built stuff instead. So that's also why my navy was really bad.
Fair enough. Anyway, I should let you get back to ruling the Danish and Dutch empires.
Yes, thank you.
But thanks for letting us know about that. I was really interested about your motivations for going after the Dutch, especially.
Yeah, it's basically just trade and money.
It's just good business.
Yes, good business with the British.
Fair enough. I get that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so that was Denmark telling us his motivations going after the Dutch. Basically just wanted consolidate territory, I get that. Pussy just scored one of the goals, owning Delhi with 50 dev. Which is true. Okay, so the Dimurids on the scoreboard. And we do have a couple of other things to talk about in just a moment. You may have noticed me noticing something during that interview, and that is Muscovy has actually got some allies, including 2 big beasts. So we've got the Mughals over here, Muscovy and Mughals allied together. Clearly the Mughals are getting a little bit concerned about the rise of the Commonwealth, and possibly the Ottomans as well. I mean, Muscovy is in opposition to these two, and the Ottomans are one of the few nations that could probably take the Mughals on. And then the other one, which I'm more surprised by, is Prussia. Prussia's broken their alliance with the Commonwealth. And that might well have been a Danzig war situation. So they got Danzig. They are actually unified in this whole area, and good relations between these two have ended. So Prussia, Muscovy, and the Mughals, a new alliance block has entered the building.